This is one of the big topics from the last week. Charlotte and Tiffany. And I got to say off the bat, before SmackDown, there wasn't any interest from almost anybody in this WrestleMania title match. However, boy, are people interested now. Whether or not you think it went off the rails, it was unscripted, and it seems like it probably was. But in any case, you cannot deny this has generated interest in the match. And if you think it hasn't, you are dead balls wrong.
Dead balls.
You don't joke about dead balls.
No. I did read that, yeah, Charlotte went off script first, which is why Tiffany had that line about the 0-3 for divorces and then left because she figured that was going to create some craziness because she already because Charlotte already went off script, so she didn't want to have a scrum or anything.
Yeah, and it's all speculation to an extent. When you put the puzzle pieces together, I think it's pretty clear that things maybe didn't go necessarily perfectly according to plan. I do think, and people have a lot of different opinions about who came out of this better or who looked like the bigger star. I agree with half of those people, and I completely disagree with half of those other people. So let's listen to the last little bit of this promo because it was really interesting. We got OCD champion in the chat here. Welcome. Says it's Tiffy time. Charlotte is so cringy, and I
agree.
Listen, I'm not saying that's always the case, but man, on Friday it wasn't good. Well, Charlotte didn't look good. And by the way, if anybody else is watching the live stream on YouTube, it looks like we got a few people in here. Feel free to just say hello. Say hi. Say buenos dias or whatever. So let's listen to the last. We haven't done sound bites on this in a while. This one was definitely worth bringing it back. Oh, that almost fell. Anyways, technical difficulties here. Anyways, am I waiting for you, George?
He's heard
it's probably going to be fine, just like that. Just, you know what? Maybe just let it hang. As long as things aren't coming unplugged, it'll be fine. We're slowly working on our podcast setup here as time goes on. All right, get your headphones back on.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's rude. Okay. That's rude.
You could hear all of that.
I know, that's why I said it.
If he didn't pay for a third of this shit, he'd be so fucking fired right now. Anyways.
Fucking bad.
All right, now let's listen to the last bit of this promo. And if anybody has any thoughts on this in the chat, like Larry Bird, who just said hello.
Hello.
Is that popcorn?
My favorite listener of our program.
It's fucking popcorn.
All right, here we go.
It doesn't matter if you win 100.
What's the matter, Charlotte? Cat got your tongue?
Oh no, I'm sorry, they're booing so loud. What would you come, guys? What would you like me to say? Man, this is really cool because here's the thing. Tiffany could win. You know what, Tiffany? You can go ahead and have the last word.
Charlotte, at 25 years old, what were you doing? You were trying to become a volleyball player drinking in your daddy's basement. And what am I doing at 25 years old? I'm walking into WrestleMania as the WWE Women's Champion! You say that this is just another match to you? Seems like I've gotten to you, Charlotte. And your WrestleMania record may be 4-3, and you may be the queen inside of the ring, but outside of the ring, you ain't the queen of shit.
What are you saying? I can't hear you, Tiffany. It's so squeaky. I can't hear you. Like, oh my God. What are you saying, Tiffany?
WrestleMania, Charlotte. And when it's all said and done, you're going to be just like you are outside of the ring. Alone. What is that record? Like what? 0-3? Woo!
Hey, Tiffany, is that why Kaiser's in my DMs?
Oofta. There's a lot to take in there, boys. Schwartz, your thoughts on that Charlotte Tiffany segment?
God, it was messy. I mean,
Good word
I
for
didn't
it.
really like. I didn't really like the back and forth just because it didn't seem. I don't know. It just seemed like it fell off almost immediately, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, huh?" And it was like, Cat got your tongue. And I was like, "Come on, Tiffy. Well, that's a 5-year-old thing to say." And then Charlotte doing the squeaky voice thing. I'm like, okay, this is definitely not on the script. You clearly are pissed off and you're trying to get at her. You probably threw everything out the window and was like, I'm going after her now. It was messy. I think exactly what OCD champion said. It was cringy on Charlotte's end, but yeah.
George?
Nope.
Like Schwartz said, it was definitely messy, but I felt like this is what it kind of needed, just to give Tiffany that extra boost. Because I don't know, I'm leaning towards Tiffany to win at WrestleMania, and Charlotte's just kind of like a whiny. We won't say that word.
I mean, I mostly agree because, like I said, this got people interested in this match and in this feud, and people haven't really been interested till now. And like, I don't know. It was messy. It was a little disorganized. A lot of people have said that they thought the strong Chicago crowd, which is obviously a very synonymous crowd for being loud and boisterous and, making what side they're on very well known. I've heard a lot of people say that the crowd threw Charlotte off, and that's why she seemed frazzled or whatever the case may be. But I think that is a bullshit excuse because Charlotte has been around for a long time. A lot of people say she's the best female wrestler to ever do it. And if she really is, she should know how to handle every crowd and how to not necessarily get them to boo or cheer, but how to get them to listen to her. And she didn't do any of that. She backed down. She got flustered. She didn't know what to say. Her comebacks to Tiffany were terrible. And I mean, granted, the crowd was very much on Tiffany's side through this whole thing, which probably helped. But Tiffany had strong points, scripted or not. It obviously went off the rails. Mentioning Charlotte's 3 divorces, I thought was great. And here's why. Charlotte's very one-dimensional, and I think that's why people are very over her. Charlotte's very one-dimensional. All they're doing is portraying her to be like another Ric Flair. She doesn't really have any character to her other than being portrayed as just the best women's wrestler. A Nepo baby. That's really her character. I think if you bring in some elements of reality, like her relationships or whatever the case may be, let's humanize her more, make her more relatable, people might start to give a shit more. Because right now she's getting, I don't want to say go away heat, but it's people don't want to see her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's exactly what you were saying. She's one-dimensional. She's only been riding this whole queen thing because that was her thing when she got in. Her gimmick was she's the queen because Ric Flair is the nature boy.
There's been 0 changes to her character the entire time she's been around.
Well, what could you do with her?
There's a lot of things you can do with her. There's so much you can do with her.
You gonna put her like in a tag team or?
Well, no, just change her character. Like so many people have changed their characters. I mean, like, and I'm not saying it has to be completely drastically different from what she is now, but you can even keep her as the queen, but you need to add some layers in there. Like she needs to be more than just somebody who just wants to win a title, and that's all she's been.
True.
Yeah, like like, Naomi's glow thing. Now
Mhm.
that's gone. Now Naomi's doing just
Yeah.
fine, doing a little tweak to her heel.
Yeah, and I think
Persona.
Naomi's going to be a strong heel going forward, and I didn't have any interest in Naomi, and now I do. And I think that's a really good example. And I've heard a lot of people say that they thought Tiffany mentioning the divorces was really low or whatever the case may be. I disagree, because Tiffany mentioned it in that promo. She said, "Oh, you went on a talk show and cried about, like her divorce or whatever the case may be." It's like, if she put that out in public, that's fair game. I also understand the point of, well, that's Ashley Flair that got divorced, not Charlotte Flair. And that's not Tiffany Startton that's dating Kaiser. Okay. But we need to add some real life into this, because keeping it all in the world of fiction hasn't been working.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that. And I think if they have Tiffany lose at Mania, that's going to be really bad for her. And people are going to be just absolutely pissed.
Do you guys think that you think Charlotte kind of goes off script during the match?
No.
All this?
I'm sure they got a
If it's
freaking
actually
earful after that.
Probably, because it was good, but also bad, that whole segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was entertaining, and Tiffany finally looked like she could keep up for once. And it's because she wasn't written to look like she's underneath a Charlotte. Like, I understand maybe you want to look like the underdog to an extent, but she is still the champion. And I think there's an element there of, you need to make it look like this is an even matchup. And before Friday, it didn't look like that was it at all. So